proud of yourself for checking out this video. Hopefully it will help you be more successful on this material. I'm going to do the evens, and I may skip some, but I'm going to do the evens basically, I don't know, because I'm just going to do some of them. Hope this helps. All right, so looking here, number 2, monomial over monomial. So in the entire test, we're basically factoring, but for this one, it's just monomial over monomial. So you can start canceling right away. So 4 over 16 becomes 1 over 4. And then I go and I make my new fraction bar here, and I have a 1 on top and a 4 on the bottom. Then I got to look at top heavy, bottom heavy. 2x's on top, 3 on the bottom. I'm bottom heavy by 1. And then same thing with the y's, but top heavy by 1. Okay, so we have 1y over 4x, easy peasy. All right, now you love this one. Well, basically, hopefully we're just continuing to fall back on the strategies we've used for guessing and checking trinomials. There is no GCF because of that 7 in the middle there. There's not going to be a GCF. So basically, we're going to set this up, and hopefully you notice both signs are positive. Plus sign here means both signs are the same. Both signs are whatever that one is there. So we're going to start this process with 3x and 2x. All right? So here's the deal. We look here and we're like, oh, factors of 2. So the only ones we have to check are 2 and 1. So I'm going to put a 2 here, and I'm going to put 1 here, and I'm going to see if that works. Well, what do I mean by that? In red, I'll show you what I mean by that. It's basically you're going through and you're like, all right, outside. 3x times 1 is 3x. Inside, 2 times 2x is a positive 4x. That combines to 7x's. That's exactly what we have in the middle here, so it works. So I'm going to erase this work here, just see, like, that was just in order for us to see if it works, which it does. Okay, so we got it. If it didn't work, we'd try different ones, but look at that first guess. Now in this one here, this is a difference of perfect squares. We got to recognize those. They're all over this test. There's one there, there's one there. There will be more as we go along. But this means you always have a plus and a minus, and you have a 2x, because the square root of 4x squared is 2x. That's going to be in both slots. And then what's the square root of 1? Well, that's 1, so we put a 1 here, and we put a 1 there. So basically what happens is we factored the top and the bottom. Now we're going to cancel. Cancel here, leaves 1s, and there is nothing else we can do to cancel. So the final answer would be 3x plus 2. I suggest keeping that in parentheses, all over 2x minus 1. Remember, these binomials here can't go any further with it. Final answer right there. All right, number 6. Now when you look at that, oh, you could be minus, minus. Well, I'm just going to do the easier part first, okay? I'm just going to look at the bottom. I'm like, those are supposed to be pretty straight up automatic difference of squares to us. And when I ask these in class, everyone, not everyone, but it always gets answered by a student. So these ones are getting caught on. X plus 2, x minus 2. This up here, we still struggle at times, but it's not a difference of perfect squares. It's not guess and check, because there's only 2 terms. So that's that GCF. 15 goes into both 15 and 30, so I take a 15 out. And then I can take an entire x squared out of that problem. So I take an x squared out because it's the biggest of the 2. I'm sorry, the smallest of the 2, but the most I can take out. So on the inside here, I'm going to have just an x and then minus a 2, which is great because here we go. We can see that those 2 will cancel. And I'm not going to rewrite my final answer. You should on your test, but that is the final answer to this problem. All right, so what changes here? When we move down here, the only thing that changes is that we got more stuff. That's it, more stuff. So all we got to work on is factoring. I mean, I can't stress this enough. I will try to here with green. Okay, let me make this not, oh wait, let's go like this. Here we go. This is so important, okay? I don't want that color. Factor. That's it. That's the key to doing well in this chapter. I've been trying to beg kids to come in for help with factoring. I will continue to do that. Hopefully you have, and at least you're watching this video, which is great. Okay, so what we have here on number 8, since I'm doing the evens, is we've got a guess and check trinomial on the top left. Okay, now don't forget there's probably videos on our classroom page with factoring back from, I think that was unit 11. So you can go watch those videos. They're still there on how to factor trinomials. But we talked about there being a plus and a minus. So we have x plus, x minus, and then the factors of 21 that work are 7 and 3. I'm going to speed along the factoring right now. because I'm really trying to get you to understand how to cancel. So that's how we factor. It does work. The outside inside does give us to negative 4x. Now these ones top right here, kids have a tough time with, but that's because you're not thinking GCF. When you think GCF, life is good. You can take an x out of both of those. So we literally just have x times x plus 8 in parentheses, and that's it. Same with the bottom left, GCF. A 3 comes out, but also an x comes out. So we're going to be left with x plus, well, that would be, I think, 2 to make 6x. So 3x times x plus 2, that looks really good. And then bottom right is 3 terms. So again, 3 terms. What we do is the guess and check. So we know it's going to be x plus with the signs, the leading coefficient. Factors of 24 that work here are 8 and 3. So now where are we at? Boom! Time to cross off. So see ya, leaving ones. See ya. Anything on the top can cancel with anything on the bottom. Oh, I thought it was going to be more exciting. There's no more see-yas. So what we have left on top, oh wait, there is. Hello, look here. I almost missed that. You see those two right there? Those are monomials, so see ya. Don't need them. Just be very careful what's on top and what's on the bottom, especially when there's a number left over like this. So we have x minus 7 on top, and on the bottom we have 3 parentheses x plus 2. And that's it. We can't go any further than that final answer. All right, bottom one here, number 10. I'll probably cut the video and then make a new one for the next page. But right here, top left, here we go. X plus x minus. I know that's what it's going to be. Why? Because in factoring, we learned that this sign right here, if it's negative, there's going to be one of each. Coefficient out here is 1, so it's just x and x. And we need to find factors of 12 to get us to 11. Well, a lot of practice I've had in this. I know that 12 and 1 will make 11 as long as I make the positive 1 12 and the negative 1 1. All right, bottom left here is 3 minus x. That's probably going to cause something goofy to happen in a minute because we usually see x minus 3. Top right, boom, there it is again. Difference of squares. X plus 3, x minus 3. Bottom right, guess and check. You guessed it. I'll check it. I don't know. It sounds like a song. Okay, so plus and plus right off of that. So we got x, I'm looking for factors of 36 that get me to 15. Again, it might take you longer to do that. You have time, you have plenty of time on the test. List them all out. 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 6 and 6, 9 and 4. There's a lot of them, okay? But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm pretty good. I know that it's 12 and 3. All right, so those are the ones that work for factoring. So now what we have to do is cancel. I definitely saw those x plus 12s. And by the way, if you were having a hard time factoring this, cheat a little bit. Think, oh man, I wonder what, oh, there's a 12 up there. Maybe there's a 12 down here. Because a lot of times we want things to cancel. So x plus 3 and x plus 3, there we go. And then there's this weird thing about these two. If you remember this, just a little side note, if you remember how to do this, we said that this right here will cancel with that. But when you put a 1 here, you have to put a negative 1 somewhere else. All right, I went into depth of why that works in class. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to confuse you too much right now when we're getting ready for the test. But basically, if you see them switched like this, that becomes a negative 1. It's the only time you'll do that. And then it looks like on top, all we have left is this, but a negative 1. So you could literally just do negative 1 times x minus 1, that's all that's left. We don't have to put anything. Oops, I lost my negative there. Okay, no, nothing on the bottom. You can put it over 1 if you want to. Also, if you would have made this a negative 1 and that a positive 1, your answer would look like this over negative 1, which is totally fine too. Either one of those are good. All right, I'm going to stop this video and make one for the back page.